Hey y'all, you already know who this is, your girl Whitney from Whitney Escapes, and today we have author Shay Davis, and we'll be discussing our book of the month, Doe Dreams. So with no further ado, let's bring Miss Shay Davis
Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
on. Hey girl.
Hey.
So it is Memorial Day.
Yeah.
So people should be wound down or turned up either way. Y'all know we
They
live.
should be ready for work tomorrow. That's what they should be.
Exactly. And if you ain't getting ready for, because I ain't ready either, but after this,
I'm,
I'll be getting ready
I'm
for work.
not.
I was telling my girlfriend the other day, I was like, you know what? How does she have holidays if you have the holiday off and the day after off?
We really should. We really
It should
should. And
automatic.
yes, and because I was away, my son had homework to do that. Of course, we didn't do while we were on vacation. So 30 minutes ago, I was just wrapping up homework with my son, like
Mm-mm.
and classwork that he missed because he was out of school Friday.
Like they know it's
Tired.
the end of the school year. They need to stop it.
It really is. Like school is over for my son on June 3rd. Like while we still got classwork and homework. Let them and he only in first grade. Go sit down.
Exactly. So
The
I'm like,
parents doing
yo,
this
bro.
stuff.
So, Miss Shay Davis, please tell everybody about you and how long you've been writing, what got you into this, so they can know who you are.
Sure. So I'm Shay Davis. You can follow me on author Shay Davis or Shay Davis Pens on social media. I have been writing. I'm getting ready to hit my 5 year anniversary in July. So it's coming up. 5 year anniversary is coming up.
Congrats.
I have, I think, 21 books. It should be more, but the past year and a half, post COVID, everybody going to work and everybody got real problems again, and all of my nerves slow me down. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I started writing as a kid. So I used to journal. I actually
Okay.
still have some of my journals. It's terrible. I reread them and I'm just like, what was wrong with me? But so I used to journal as a child, and then in high school, I used to like write in a spiral bound notebook over the weekend, and then all my friends would like share it through the week, and then I would update the chapters. And then I got pregnant and I became a teen mom, and it was just like writing what? Mm-mm. We need to get something that's going to give me some money like right now. So I took a long break, and then during COVID, I came back to it because like while it was, a really tough time for a lot of people, COVID actually was probably some of the best few years, like mentally. Like I actually got to learn myself. I got to learn who I was in this stage of life. And then I learned some passions that I had put to the side years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I started writing, and I released my first book during COVID, which was Stay a Little Longer and then Stay Forever, and then yeah, a few other spinoffs. That was me, and that's how I got into it.
Well, I found you. I don't know how I found you, but I found you. And I was like, "Oh, I like her." Cause I was telling people, they'd be like, "How do you get your authors?" I said, "I read their works. I read over 100 books a year, and I only
Mhm.
reach out to certain people. I love independent authors, but I'm like, I like her writing,
Oh,
and I
cool.
was like, people need to know that she exists."
Thank you so much.
So I'm excited you're here with us today. I
Yeah.
am so excited we get to have this conversation because those dreams, y'all know I always look to the left because I got my notes. Y'all know I always come prepared. Even though I never stay on task, y'all know I never stay on my agenda with my notes because I be
It's
having it on
okay.
here. But just in case, I'll be like, wait, hold on. This is what I want this about. But let's get into this book because you started off right. I was like, oh, this what we doing? Is this what we doing? Because
That's
you,
what he's doing.
and the funny part about it, y'all, because everybody should have read this, because that's why it's a book discussion. My best friend, who's over there getting herself together because she got to get back on the road to go home because she comes for my son's birthday. And I was like, girl, I just read this book. And the first thing I read was The Best Friend Sleeping with Her Husband. And I was like looking at her, looking at my husband, right? We've been friends for over 30 some years. And I was like,
Yeah.
if a girl walks away, I'm like, that would be me. She's like, I would have killed him. I said, no. I said, I like how she did that because at the end of the day, reality kicked in. Like, yo, if I murder these people, I'm going to jail. And
Mhm.
I was like,
Mhm.
no, they can have their trifling selves. I'm out.
Mhm.
I said, she pulled it together. My best friend like, I would have killed y'all. I would have. I
I don't
would.
know what I would have done. I probably would have got my lick off like Jade,
Yeah.
and probably backed up too. But mine probably would have been a little worse. Like
She should have got the husband too. She should
yes,
have got the husband too.
yes,
But then
yes.
everybody would have. But I love how she fighting the guy get up and then she's like, let me go, because I'm gonna kill these
Yeah.
people.
Yes, right. Like I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna go to jail, and that's not what I want for my life.
Girl,
Like,
I
yes,
was like, is this how we say this?
yes.
Happy anniversary, back. And then she said raw dog. I said, oh,
Mm-hmm.
he in here. Wow. So they're comfortable. They
Yep,
too
right,
comfortable.
right. Like they know her schedule. They comfortable. They ain't even the simple fact is they so comfortable that he forgot it was even an anniversary.
Girl, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
uh-uh.
Yep.
I was like, this is gonna be so good. But I was like, you just started page one, like, ooh, driving, she had to come back and feel it. But I was thinking about it because you, like you said, when you're in those situations, because everybody's like, oh, what would you? I'm like, you really don't know what you do. But I felt like that was God telling her, girl, you better get out of here. They ain't worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't like that took him like 2 years. I'm like, first of all, you are what? Why are you taking so long for us to get divorced? Like, why are you playing
Mm-hmm.
these games?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then they were still together. I was like,
Yeah, when they divorced was final, he was still with the best friend, and so it was just a messy and like, but it was messy to the point where I didn't want to focus on the mess. I wanted Jade to have her shine, and
yeah,
like divorces can be nasty, but outside of that, somebody can still be already moving on with their life, even though the ink isn't final. You get
mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So I wanted to focus on, yeah, Jade knows she's going through all of this, but we not focusing on this mess. We focusing on she already know it's a wrap, it's over, and she got her boots on the ground going forward.
Yeah, she did. She had her fan because she was like, I ain't dealing with none of these men. I'm just gonna get my paper. And I loved it and hate it at the same time because I was just thinking about how, of course, me and my girlfriend was talking about this whole book. I'm like, listen, because you go through different things in life and it does shape who you are, who you become.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I'm like, everybody deal with things differently. And me and my girlfriend always talk about that because how we brought up, we brought single mom, but different things. I'm like, yeah, you don't know how things will affect you. And I
Mhm.
always tell people, oh, they be like, oh, would you ever leave your husband for cheating, this and that? I'm always saying the same freaking thing. Would he want to stay with me? You do something to somebody that's traumatic, it changes the person. And I
Yeah.
love how you did that in this book. Like she didn't do anything wrong, but it
Mhm.
changed her, and she was
Mhm.
like, no, I'm cold. She left him, but it just still changed her. It wasn't just like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm good. Let's talk about that. Why did you?
Because even though when you're treated or mistreated and you're 100% open and fully given, and then
Mhm.
that is broken, you don't really have the, I want to kind of say, the inner authority to allow yourself to feel that again. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You don't want to give yourself permission to make a terrible decision, because now you're
Mhm.
questioning your ability to read a room, read a situation. You are questioning your ability to pick the right man,
Exactly.
pick the right friend, because even remember with the friend who became a child, was a child friend who became a friend again, she didn't know whether she wanted to how close she wanted to let that friend in again.
Exactly. Because
Mhm.
that friend was a hot mess.
Oh, she was. She
She
was.
was a hot mess. I was like, girl, I'm not looking at her name. Some with
I
a C.
girl,
I
girl,
know some with a C.
don't
Let me
even
see if
give
I
me
wrote her in my notes. Let me see if I wrote her in my notes. Let me write
It's a
everybody's
shame.
name
I should know
here.
that. My friend just asked me. She was like, "Do you know all your character names?" I said, "Girl, no." I was
Well,
like, "You know
people,
how
I'm
many
telling
side
everybody
characters I
here.
write?"
Cassidy.
Cassidy. Okay, yeah, there you
See,
go.
I had it in
Mhm.
my notes because I'm like,
Yep.
I'm horrible with names. People know that to the day. I'll know the whole story and can't tell you the main character name. I would know and the only reason I know Jade because my baby girl named Jade. So I wasn't gonna forget Jade because her name
I
is.
remember all my main characters, but I write. Sometimes I throw in so many side characters, and I'm just like, I wrote them with the intent to possibly give them a story. I write all my side characters with the intent to give them a story, but then they
And
be in the back of my mind, and I forget them. And
I
then
was thinking that I was thinking it's Cassidy and freaking Jackson getting
Jackson.
together because
Hey, maybe. I don't
I
know. I
feel
love
like
Jackson.
I
Jackson is my boo. I love a goofy hood nigga. I'm sorry. Can we curse? We can curse, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I love me a goofy. I loves me a goofy hood nigga. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do with him yet. He is definitely gonna get his own story,
I feel like
but
he's good.
Yeah.
I feel like because he has to grow up. Like I feel
He
like
needs to grow up. He's a little man whore. He needs to grow up.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's like his character here. Like I love his relationship with his brother, but I like how you kind of keep him still mysterious because we don't know what he do.
Uh-huh.
We don't
Yep.
know if it's legal or illegal. It sounds like he's touching in the illegal stuff, but we don't really
Mm-hmm.
know because Austin or Tate doesn't really talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's
Mm-hmm.
just he's assuming all these
Yeah,
things.
he's like, yo, my brother always hanging with the wrong crowd, da da da, blah blah blah. I don't really know what he
But
into.
yeah, he don't really
Somebody talking about
know
something he got to connect. I don't know if I want to use that connect, but
exactly when it was legit. He's like, yo, why you don't trust me? Like,
yeah.
so I like how he's so mysterious, the brother, and the relationship. What you need? Hmm? Why? No. You see how when your kid had a sleepover and the kids got to go home and they can't find their stuff? I want to ask him, why would I know where your shoes are? Like, why would I know that?
Girl,
Because I'm the mom. I should know where everybody's stuff
you
is.
should know where everything is at all times, and when
I'm
you
like,
don't, it's
I
your
didn't even know
fault.
you wear those type of shoes here. Like, it was so many of you guys. Like,
My son be like, and when he can't find something or he feel like us, he be like, it's all your fault, and I'm like,
I'm like, I don't even know what shoes you had on your feet.
okay.
And he looking like, you're live. This is my son's one of my son's best friends. And I'm like, yeah, you guys knew I was going live, so why are you asking me where your shoes are?
And they still talking, even though they know you lie.
He's like, oh. You see, guys, this is what y'all know this is live. This is real life stuff. Oh, these kids, Lord Jesus.
This is called motherhood and multitasking and being a career woman while raising children. This is
It
that.
doesn't stop. I tell people that all the time. I literally just ordered me a new desk because I'm like, okay, I need a new desk. I need a new era because
Mhm.
I'm going back to school. I got this new position in my job. I'm running my business. I have to do my book. I said, I need a new, like, I need my space to be revamped
Yes,
so that
yes.
I can
You
be
need
the
the
boss.
right aura. You need the
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, you need that zen, that feng shui.
You feel me? Like, my function, like,
I,
look my
I,
window I did back here. Y'all see I did my little window? You see how I made my
oh,
little,
that's it.
like
I like
here?
that. Yeah, I really
I
like
got
that.
my little, I'll be reading right there. Look at my little
Yeah, I
pillow.
like it. That's what you're gonna say. I like that chair.
That's my
Yeah.
little chair. I be looking outside at the neighbors and looking at the birds because some of the birds be falling right in my tree right there. But I want my desk to come around. Like this desk is against this wall, and I want to get like
Okay.
an L-shaped desk because I kind of
Yeah.
like want to block the other area. So I
Yeah.
feel like, but I need more space. But
Yeah.
anywho, back to the entrepreneurs because that's what we are, and these people
Yes.
are entrepreneurs. And we're
Yes.
talking about the brother.
Yes.
I like how you left him mysterious, and I can't wait to find out what he really does and
Yeah,
how
because I don't
he.
want to give too much away. I saw in some of the reviews, it's like, well, I wanted to know more about Jackson. I was like, and you will, where he gets the story, but the story wasn't about Jackson.
And you know what? If I read this book and read some of her other books, I had to say this. I like how you do this play, like how you did then. Like for instance, let's get to Jade. How Jade sees this handsome gentleman
Mm-hmm.
at the bookstore, which I love that. I said, "Oh yeah, she went out a book. You know,
Like,
she
because
intrigued by
men
his
read
picture.
too, right?
Yeah, I was like, okay, and they like the same type of books, black entrepreneurs,
Yes.
and I just love that. I really do. I enjoyed him. I enjoyed him. Jay pissed me off here and there,
Oh, absolutely.
but I enjoyed Tate. I enjoyed his character.
He was very open and vulnerable. And even though he grew up in an environment that showed and told him he should be one way,
Mm-hmm.
he decided to go against the grain and was like,
Yeah,
that's not what I want. So,
I love that. I love men who like are open, who are not afraid to just be them. You
mm-hmm,
know, like a lot of times people, oh, we gotta be tough, we gotta be this. Who says that?
mm-hmm,
Like who's?
exactly.
I'm like most people like regular. Like I hate when people like, oh, like even the Sierra thing. Nobody want Russell because he's corny dude. I'm like nobody likes corny dudes. Period. If you're corny, you're corny. That's a preference, but it's not because he's corny. Oh, she want to be with. But we don't know him outside of y'all calling him corny. He might not
Yes.
even be
First
corny.
of
We don't
all,
know him.
give me all the corny. If that's what corny is, a
You know
man
what
who
I'm saying? But like
literally
corny is like
lifts.
personality.
Right, a man who lifts his woman up every single day in public and private, take care of his kids and do everything else and provide everything that she need. Give me a corny man,
Why? But the key is why is that corny?
right?
Like
Right.
what? Because he confident in his skin. He don't have to wear what you wear. He got
Mm-hmm.
money. Like I hate when people say just because he don't got what Gucci don't mean he ain't wearing Gucci. Just because
Yeah.
he ain't out here talking to everybody, he low
Yeah.
key. Like let him be him.
Yeah. So that stuff's not important. That stuff is superficial. That's not important.
Exactly. He's
That's not
confident in who he is, and I said all women want a confident man.
important.
Y'all call him corny, but none of y'all know him. She's that she's having a time of her life. With
Mm-hmm.
this guy who you're saying is corny because you don't even know him. Get him
Mm-hmm.
out of here. Like you said, he take care of his family, love on her, supports her. Like that's not corny. That's called being a man.
Yeah, so like if that's corny, give me corny. And Tate
Not
is a
corny.
little
I'll be corny right with him.
right. Tate a little different, but he corny in his own right too, because like his brother be like, yo, like, where your bitches
Loves
at?
it.
And all of those, like, you know what I mean? Ripping and running the street. He like, yo, I'm not one that. And so he just really want to be about his business. And he really he liked the idea of finding a woman, which he thought he found in Jade before she,
Oh,
pulled
girl,
the wool over his eyes.
girl, what you doing? You got something to say? But like you said, I don't think he was corny. He had swagger, but he was his own person, and that's what I loved about him. And I love
Mhm.
the world play of his business, those dreams. I'm like, you know what I mean? Because even when
Mhm.
she met him, she assumed he was a dude from the streets. And
Mhm.
then he sees her again, when he goes to get the cheesesteak, she's eating a cheesesteak, and she still had assumption, like, but she still had that inner feeling, like, let me give him a chance, even though he
Yeah.
thought he was like a thug and out here on the streets,
Mhm.
and she was pleasant
Still, and she
surprised.
liked the fact that he was reaching, and like when she met him in the bookstore, she was like, she kind of thought it, but then she also was giving him the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, entrepreneur, like he must be
Yeah,
a business owner like me, and you know what I mean. And so, yeah, but then she goes straight home and surfs the bankruptcy filings to
hmm
find. I think that was just hilarious. Like what
girl,
she does for a living, I think is just hilarious. Like she's so turned off to emotion that like she like I'm just gonna buy this failing business and make it work. And sometimes it helps the owner, sometimes it don't, but that's the cutthroat life of real estate. You know what I mean? And like yeah,
and
I
make her
love.
money.
Hmm.
I said make her money too, because she said she a
Yes.
self-made millionaire. Oh no,
Yes.
she's like, this is what I do, and then I love how she's like, yeah, they don't know it's me until I gotta go sign a check. I said, smart businesswoman. Then she said, yeah, my assistant is a white man. Yep, let him think it's him.
What's
Just
his name? Was Matthew? Was it Maddie? Maddie.
yeah, Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, girl, I'm
Yeah,
looking at my thing. But
Maddie.
one
I
thing,
like Maddie too. I was like, I wish I wrote stories about white people. Matthew seemed like he could get a story, but I don't really double and dabble with the.
yeah, because he'll
Mm-mm.
have to give him a sister. That's all it
Exactly. I
was.
don't really double and dabble with the interracial. I don't. I don't think I would. I don't know, because I've written a few white characters that I really love, and so I just interracial just hasn't been my thing. Not saying that I would never do it, or not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I just love black love.
Girl, and I agree. I tell people love is love, but don't act like we don't have
Yeah,
preferences.
absolutely. Love is love. I support everybody. I support, interracial relationship. I support same sex relationship. I support anything that anybody wants to do that is for them, because it's none of my business. If you happy and whatever your beliefs are, you can't push those off on other people, and they got to deal with that. You know what I mean? If those things are right or wrong at the end of days, that's for them to rectify,
Yeah,
not me. And so I just personally, when I create these fabulous stories in my head, I always envision a beautiful black man loving on a beautiful black woman,
and I love
because
that
it
vision.
exists. Because I hate how people think that it don't exist, and it exists, and we here, and our stories need to be told.
Girl, say it for the people in the back. I agree with 1,000% with you. I said I don't judge anybody, but at the end of the day, I tell people I read. They said, "What type of books you're always reading?" I said I read black romance novels, and I always have to put. They said they black. What is that? I said that means the main character is black and the author is black, and it's all about black. The culture is
That's
black,
so
and
funny.
that's
I
what I
was just
read.
one of the soccer moms or soccer grandmoms. She was there with her grandson, and we was talking about like what I was doing, what I do. for a living and like side hustle. And I was like, yeah, I write romance books, black romance. She was like, black, or she was like, what kind of books? I was like, black romance. And she's like, oh, I'm like, yeah, there was, and she's like, well, what I want to read them. You know, just older white lady. And I was just like,
Mhm.
sure, but just know that there's a lot of cursing, there's a lot of sex, and mostly all my characters are black. But have at it.
Yeah, they always say that because they're like, "Oh, what is it?" I said, "It's culture."
Mhm.
I said because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's just the difference. We're all human beings, but I'm like, it's like watching Hallmark that I'm reading, and I know the characters look like me.
Yeah, I like to write what I know, what I love, what I grew up around. Well, kind of grew up around. My parents was married. Funny enough, my parents have been together my whole life. They didn't get they got a divorce in 2007, then got remarried on New Year's Eve of 2000, going into 2008, and then got divorced again in 2018. But by this time I was an adult. So like I was an adult when they got divorced the first time, and I was a grown living in a whole nother state when they got divorced the second time. But so like I've seen black love. I've seen a little bit of, give and take and push and pull. But my parents I come from a two-parent household. So I know what that's like, even though it might not have been the most perfect image. And then my grandparents, I came from I had two-parent grandparent households. And so I write what I see, what I know, and what I know that we can be as a people, because I see us thriving. I
Yeah,
don't I don't subscribe to the stereotypes and to the small world of negative posts about black people.
girl,
Yeah.
you're preaching because I've been with my husband for 19 years, and
Mhm.
everybody be like, "Oh my god, oh my god." But the crazy part about it, that's why I read books because I don't see us on TV. I don't see me next door to
Mhm.
myself.
Mhm.
I live in the East Coast, so everybody know I live in Connecticut.
Mhm.
And I don't see me all the time. I see my people, but I don't see
Yeah.
someone my age been with somebody so long all the time. And I know means we're not out there, but I just don't
Yeah.
see it here because I'm not in a
Yeah.
dominant, urban
Mhm.
area. But I'm
Mhm.
like, but we exist.
Oh, we absolutely
I'm like,
exist.
we
Me and my
exist in
husband.
every shades and colors and forms and here and there. I'm like, and like when we go on vacation, I'm glad you guys been together. Yeah.
Yeah,
Why is
me and
that
my
so
husband been
shocking?
together since me and my husband have been together since 2008. And yeah, we were together 8 years before we even got married, but we was still together, bought a house and everything. Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, and so we is what it is. Like, and it's so funny because the place that we vacation to, where we just came back, like it'd be very few black people there. And then it's so funny because you can always tell, like the allies, they wave to you like, hi, black
Hmm.
person, I'm an ally, I love you, I support you. And then you can be telling people, be like, you belong here, you can always tell.
Yeah,
But we don't let we are not defined by spaces. We step across lines, across barriers, and we go wherever we go. And if we can afford it, we go. We don't care who's the predominant group of people there. If we feel like it's gonna be
exactly.
fun, we go. And so,
Oh,
and that
I
was
love
what,
that.
just to kind of circle that back, that was kind of how Jade made herself feel. She was like, I don't care what the world say I
Hmm.
should be as a black woman. I
Exactly.
am going to be a real estate mogul. I am going to own and operate my own business. Yeah, I might send in a representative at times just to make my life a little easier. But
Hmm.
all of this is black owned and black operated and female owned and female operated. And I'm a boss.
Exactly.
And that's why I love her. I love writing
That's
about
what I loved about her. But I also understood her. And I tell a lot of people when you get these characters and you read these books, can you understand the character? I understood. That's why when you came in, boom, like, okay.
her.
And then
Mhm.
her personality, like, nope. And she's like, because, she's talking to herself throughout the book. And I understood her. But I was
Mhm.
like, it just saddens me that that happens. You know what I'm saying? Something
Mhm.
happens to us traumatic, really hurt us because we're pure people. And
Mhm.
even if it was a guy, same thing. Something happens to them and then they change. And then you wonder, like, who is this person I'm becoming? But I
Mhm.
still love how she came around. So that's
Yeah.
what I loved about the story that,
Yeah.
she meets, Tate.
Yeah.
She gives him a chance. Like this is the first guy in 2 years that she even like,
Yeah.
why am I getting a spark? What is it about him? Well,
Mhm.
she went, she didn't fight against it. She said, okay, I'll let him take me out. They had a nice dinner, great conversation with each other. I love that I love that he paid attention to her too. Like he
He
knew.
did. He
Like,
did.
wait, hold on. What was that? Wait, hold on. I don't really know her, but I know stuff is changing. Like he could see that she's trying to fight
Mhm.
against the grain, but he's like, every time she give me an opening, I'm gonna take
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
You
Like for
know?
when after the first time and like he woke up in the morning, he was like, "All right, I could tell Shorty want me to leave." So like,
Mhm.
no sweat. Like I'm a bounce. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give her space. I don't know what this is about or whatever. But yeah, I loved how he pursued her, even
Yeah.
though he knew that she was kind of a little bit, standoffish and or skeptical about the situation, or
Mhm.
just a little bit reserved. And
Yeah.
so yeah, but then I also love, like, you got to create conflict. I was like, I was going back and forth on how I wanted him to find out about her secret. So and because at first I was going to, like, not wait, it was going to wait until like closing, or like he was
Mhm.
going to, you know overhear something else from somebody else, you know what I mean? And so like I was like, no, he need to hear it from her mouth. Like, and so I thought that was, yeah,
That was a lot because
it was a lot.
I was like, no, she didn't. The thing why I was so crazy, like, I love their second date when she thought he
Mhm.
was gonna murder her, and he
Oh,
was
when they went to the
beating her.
rage room? Yeah.
I love the rage room, and then he took her to the pizza place to make the pizza,
Yes, yes, yes.
and then
Mhm.
they went home and did it first time, and she tried to kick him out. He's like, "Yo, we just had this great time. Like, what the heck?" But he
Mhm.
respected it. Like, I'm unbound.
Yeah,
Like
that's what
you
I'm
just
saying. Like, he
said.
gave her space. He was like, I don't really know what's going on with Shorty, but all right.
But then I also respect by the time she got downstairs, she explained to him,
Mhm.
like, this.
Yeah.
I
I
love
think
that she
that's
took.
important.
Yeah.
I think that's important even in books, because a lot of the times, now don't get me wrong, she has some definite miscommunication in this book.
Yes.
However, a lot of the times when people aren't ready for relationships, like, in order to set up the book, they just leave these gaps of like communication. And I'm just like, you can
Mhm.
still make it interesting with people talking
Exactly.
and telling, or people telling where they stand. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to just be people playing on where they stand as far as the intimacy go. Like, people can tell people where they stand and it can still be a story.
Exactly. And I love
So
how she did it because she kind of left, and then how you set it up. Like, let me get out of here, and then he comes downstairs, and she's just like,
you want
let
some
me
coffee?
do it. Like, this is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be like, because he's like, what the heck? But then they're like, okay, I get it. So I understand she's dealing with some type of messed up stuff. She don't have to, tell me everything, but she let me know enough to
Mm-hmm.
understand I'm gonna still try at it. And then, building a little relationship, I love that they both are family oriented. I love her that she loved her Aunt Joy and he loved his parents and he'll take out the trash. I love how they had that connection of
Yeah. Yeah.
brownness with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I
but
love that
then
too. I love writing good parents as well as just good relationships. I like having good parents as well. Now, not all the parents in all my books are good, but I do like it.
one thing I noticed in two books I think of yours I read ago. I don't know the title of it, but you did the same thing with the lawyer and the detective.
The lawyer,
Yes, I was trying to find the book. Well, how they didn't know each other's profession?
huh?
The one who's friends with the guy who became a partner. It was a book before that
Honey,
one.
Honey. So it
Yeah,
was Stay a Little Longer was Blake and Serena. He's
and
a lawyer. Serena's a lawyer,
and
and
Blake was the detective, right?
no, he's in engineering,
Okay,
and then
which one is it?
I don't think I have a detective.
I don't know, but I remember like I was trying. I was like, wait, find this book. Anywho, I like the whole point I'm trying to make is I like the fact that you have them know that they have jobs, but they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah,
you let that part build up. Because I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that is really, really cool because I think that's interesting. Like, yeah, I was telling my girlfriend, I said, I like that idea because a lot of time people already prejudge people off of their profession.
Mhm, mhm.
Like she knew that he was an entrepreneur. She knew, he could cook because he said, I could cook. But
Yeah,
he
and
didn't say,
for her. Yeah.
and he didn't know what she did.
Mhm.
Like, So I like that they really got to know each other, and
Like
they're
it
building
didn't start off with what you do for a living, how much money you make.
exactly.
Yeah. It was kind of like, let's have fun. Now though, after he cooked for her and she woke up and went to, cook about dough dreams, which
Girl.
girl, right?
After they had a fabulous night, and she's like, okay, let me go see what this guy. Let me go to this place. Who want to play this harp out? And the crazy how she didn't put two and two together, but neither here and there. And walks in, and girl, talk about it. You wrote it, talk about it.
So yeah, so she walks in. So I don't know if we doing spoilers, y'all. This is a spoiler alert. If you haven't
It
read.
shouldn't be a spoiler because they should have already read the book.
Okay, so yeah, so she goes in, and so Doe Dreams is a place that's a failing business that she's trying to buy,
Mm-hmm.
and so after an amazing night with Tate, whose name is Austin, that she doesn't know because he
Yeah.
used last name, and so she goes into Doe Dreams, and he's behind the counter, and she like a cashier, like what is happening right now? He is not a cashier. He is the owner of the place that she is
Yep.
trying to buy, and he keeps rejecting her offer. So because she operates as just Jay Shaw, and he's operating under,
Tate.
Doe Dreams, and his name is Austin Tate, but like his first name is Tate, so she doesn't. They don't put all of these connections together, and so
Mm-hmm.
she finds out that he's actually the owner, and so she walks in, and she's just like flabbergasted. She's like stopped dead in her tracks. And he's like, oh, good seeing you here. And he's like, trying to pull her in for a hug. And then also then he got his little coworker or his
Oh God.
like trying to be like and you know what I mean? That was funny. That was fun
That
because
was.
there's always somebody who is unrequited love somewhere and it's like, I don't want you, girl. Go sit down. Go
And
do
I
your
love how you did that so well because the girl trying to act like they have something more going on. Tate
mm-hmm.
like, what the heck? But then Jay's like, boo boo. And Tate's like,
Mm-hmm.
ooh. Like they all like it's so funny how the
Like,
whole
claws out, meow. Like,
you know, I like that. Like let her know. Oh, I
mhm.
thought that was the funniest scene ever. I was like, this is so
Yeah.
funny.
So that was the pivotal point where like she had a chance to do the right thing, but of course it's a book, so she doesn't.
Nope. She calls her friend. And even like Matt said when he finally found out who Tate and the guy was, I'm like, she knew. And this is what y'all do, women, and even y'all men, because we have both audience who watch. Y'all know the right thing to do, but you find out one person that's going to agree with the wrong thing. Let's just talk about that's what she knew. Everybody she could call. I'm not gonna call my aunt. I'm not gonna call. She everybody she ain't gonna call.
I'm gonna call who I want and who's gonna tell me what I want to hear. Let me get the person on the line to tell me what I want to hear. I really don't want advice. I just want to do the wrong thing, and I just need somebody to agree with me.
Exactly. And that's exactly how it went down. And I was like, And that's at that point, I was like, you know what, Cassidy? I don't even like you anymore. I'm done. I'm done with you.
I mean, she is all for fun.
Because
She's
then we
all
found
for
out too that she was hurt, like in
mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm,
past. So I was like,
mm-hmm.
okay. So but I'm like, once again, here's a hurt
But
of the
she was
person.
hurt, and she activated her whole face,
Exactly.
which
That's
you
why I
do,
thought she should be with Jackson.
Jackson.
Cause I feel like
I
you
feel
was
like
one of
they're
the
gonna kill each
weaker
other though. Like I feel like they're gonna kill each other though. Like, cause like they
ones.
was gonna outhold each other, and then feelings gonna get involved, and
But that's
then
what the
one
point.
of
Like he gonna meet her and realize he really likes her. You know what I'm
them,
saying?
yeah,
And
yeah,
she playing hard ball with everybody else. But she
yeah.
really still like a softie. So they kind of like
No, their stuff have
unlock
to be
really good news.
explosive because I don't think that it would have to be so explosive because they are so both so deep in their ways
Yeah.
that it's going to take a long time for them to even realize that they for real legit like each other. So like they going like yeah, I'm not gonna give it too much away because I got some ideas, but like yeah,
But they
they.
both need somebody. I felt like Cassidy because she was heartbroken, she got cheated on.
Mhm.
But Jackson needs a backstory. Like his story needs to be really good because We didn't
Mhm.
know why he went this route. He got 2-parent household.
Mhm.
Well, like, and then he said, "You don't know what happened before." I'm like, "Well, you're only 2 years older than him. What could have happened in those 2 years?" Like in my
Mhm.
mind,
Or
when I'm reading this,
sometimes things happen, and even though the younger siblings don't always know, you know what I'm saying? Even though they
yeah.
both
So
raised us.
we got to find out what was his turning
Yeah, girl,
point.
I know, right? We gotta find out because I don't know either, girl. I don't
We
know.
gotta find out. I'm like, I can't wait to see what's going on with Jackson because at the end of the day, I'm like, his story is gonna be good.
I feel like it's gonna be good. I feel like he also needs an explosive partner. So it might be Cassidy. We don't know. But it's not gonna be the generic, oh, I finally met this girl and she just opened my eyes. You know what I'm
It gotta
saying?
be drama. It gotta be like
Yeah.
they both gotta have like some type of backstory, like, and it just
Hmm.
comes together. Like I don't know, but I'm like his. I think his story is gonna be so interesting whenever you write it, and I am so here for it.
Yes,
Because like I
it's
said,
gonna
you
be
people,
interesting. I don't know if
you
it'll be
should
out
give
this year.
dates.
I'm looking at my board behind my phone and I'm already behind, so it might not be this year.
Girl, it's the summertime. Take this summer and chop that
No,
because I
listen,
need
I
to.
for real got 7 books on my list, and I literally have only done two.
Yeah, come on, get it together.
I know it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year.
Like
But
I talk about life be life.
we not talking about my to do list. It haunts me every day from this seat. So we not talking about my to do list. We talking about Jay and Tate, and you talking about when she got home and called Cassidy because she knows she needed to tell that man who she was, and she decided not to.
Girl, yeah, you better ride it while you can. Oh, that pissed me off. I hate it. I hate bad friends. I hate when people get bad advice.
Not.
I'm like, I hate when people get bad advice. Like, come on, we gotta get together, definitely as black women. But she gave the bad advice because that's what she wanted to hear,
Mhm.
and she continued to mess with Tate, knowing that
Mhm.
he is the one who
Yep.
owns those rings.
Yep.
Girl, I was like, oh my god, this is horrible. And the crazy part, reason why it's so horrible because he's falling for her and she's falling for him.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
she don't know what to do with it. And I'm just like, I was like, come on, Jay, please, Jay, get it together. I'm gonna tell her, I'm gonna tell her, I'm gonna tell her. You don't freaking tell him. And then you tell him how you found out.
They had just had a nice, lovely night, right? And then
A beautiful night.
yeah, it was beautiful. And they were going to get Chinese. He went to go pick up some Chinese takeout, right? Or something. Did he
No, he
come
went to
back?
go get some cheesesteaks.
Cheesesteaks. Okay, yeah, he came back. I couldn't remember because I know they ordered Chinese one night and then
Yeah,
cheesesteaks
they
another
did one
night.
on that because that's a fair place to order from. Seems like.
Yeah. So, I mean, sidebar backstory. So, I'm from Philly. And so, this place is, I actually lived in the neighborhood with one of my last places that I lived before I moved to Maryland was in that same neighborhood.
Hmm.
And I didn't grow up in that neighborhood, but I really do love that neighborhood. And so, like, because a part of it is hood. And then, like, a few blocks later, you like, how is this, you know what I mean? And so, and then Larry Steaks is like a staple in the neighborhood and it's right on St. Joseph's campus. And so it's really, really cool. And so I really do love that neighborhood. So it was just a little bit backstory about me and the scenery that I set. But yeah, so he went to go pick up some cheesesteaks. Matthew was there because she needed to sign some paper.
Hmm.
And so they're talking about it, and he like, girl, what are you talking? He's the one who finally came in, was like, you need to tell him, stop playing.
Hmm.
And then Tate is back because the door was unlocked. So I guess they didn't hear him come in. And so he overhears the conversation. And then when he steps into the living room, which is open to the kitchen, Maddie is like, oop, time to go. And yeah, that's how that came to be. And
Girl.
so then he wanted to pull out, and then he called his brother, and again Jackson came and saved the day. Like, yo, you an idiot, yo. Like, she love you, you care about her. She's saving your bit. Like, you getting about to get out of debt. Like, shut up.
I love when Jackson came up to like serious brother mode. He's like,
Mhm.
let me just listen to what I gotta say. Just listen to
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
Because when Tate overheard One thing I did like, which I really like on Tate's part, is that he didn't just walk out.
Mm-hmm.
No, tell me.
Mm-hmm.
No, tell me.
Yeah.
Like, nah, you
Yeah.
don't look at the floor now. Look me in my face and tell me.
Yeah,
Well, when did you
like he
find
could have
out?
pulled the ghosting act where he like never came back and she was like, "What happened?" Like I thought
Yeah,
about that too, and I was like, no. Even though I was like, I want these people, these grown people, to communicate, even though there's still a lack of communication.
exactly. And I love that. Come like a lot of times, oh, he'd have walked out in the middle of it. You know how they be. I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
love he heard the whole thing. He's still there. I'm like, no, you gonna tell me. You gonna tell me when
Mm-hmm.
you found
Mm-hmm.
out. Why didn't tell me? And then she told him she loved him. I was like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, here comes the big brother who's like, you know what? Think about this. Now, if she would have, oh, you see how you pause right there?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was trying to give him other logic, but he was just so hurt, which I
Yeah.
understood too. So it was like, you damn if you do, you damn if you don't.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Yes.
Exactly situation.
And then it was crazy when like then when they finally went to closing and they had to face each other at closing. And she really wanted to be like, I need to talk to you.
Hmm.
What he said? What she say? She was like, I got some stuff at your house or something. He was like, nah, you can keep it. I think he said something like
Yeah,
that.
or throw it away. I don't want
Yeah,
that.
like,
And he just left. She's like, he just
and she's
left.
like, I need to talk to you. He's like, yeah, nah, you ain't got nothing. And I understand because like she still, so even though she technically still saved him from losing money and going into debt and losing his business, because he was on the brink of losing his business and going into debt. So now he just
Hmm.
loses his business, but he comes out a clean slate. He don't have to sell his condo. He don't have to sell his car. He don't have to sell anything
Hmm.
to make ends meet. And so he come out on top. But I think it was more so that the deceit from her, where it's like, yeah, like I'm not about to be out on these streets trying to figure out what I'm gonna do in my life, but you literally just sat in my face and lied to me and then laid up with me and just continued to lie to me. So like that's still deep. You know what I mean?
That's how I think it was too, because he was like, I can't trust you.
Mhm.
And too, because she didn't tell him, it
Mhm.
makes it seem like, did you sleep with me just so you could get my business? You want my
Yeah.
business that bad that you gonna let me fall for you? Because now everything she says after that, he
Mhm.
doesn't know if it's the truth.
Mhm. Exactly. Exactly. So like he doesn't know what her end goal is and what her true motives were and
Yeah,
her feelings, because even though he didn't know that who she was, she knew who he was, and he kind of softened. The more he fell for her, the more he softened to the idea of letting
hmm,
go of his business.
exactly. Because he wanted to have a new thing,
Yeah,
and that's
he was
and he
having
had
an
to make a decision.
outlook like maybe this is a sign. And so if your assumed sign is covered in deceit, was it really a sign? So I understood. So he walked out of closing and was like, no. But
Mhm.
like then they went and did their own separate thing for a little while. But can we talk about how they ended up coming back together?
Girl, 6 months went by. A traumatic 6 months went by. They haven't seen each other, and then one day, boop.
So can I tell you a backstory about
That's
this
funny. Please
bee?
tell me, please.
So this is B in this Range Rover, right? First of all, she don't know she know how to drive, but she hasn't driven since moving back to Philly because it's Uber and it's a
Yeah,
small city. It's not really a small city, but it has public transportation. It has everything is kind of close. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And especially close from where she lives versus where she needs to go often. And so she just never felt the need to have a car. And then insurance, one of her reasons was insurance is really high. Or insurance in Philadelphia is crazy high. But anyway, so the B story, right? This actually happened to me one day. And I was actually in the midst of writing this book when it happened to me. I was like,
Wow.
this gonna happen to Jade. So I had left work on a Thursday. I was going to get my nails done. I'd be going to get my nails done and everything. And so I was going to get my nails done. It was a nice spring day. I opened my door and a bee fly in my car. But I'm gonna be late for my nail appointment, so I gotta get in the car. So I get in the car, I roll all the windows down, I open up the sunroof, and I'm like, oh my god, like the bee, I just give the car to the bee, but I need to get my nails done. And then so I'm so afraid that this bee is somewhere in my car. I'm driving and I'm just like every time I like something just look like it's blowing. I'm like on the expressway
Oh God.
and it's hot. And so I don't have my air on, like all my windows are rolled down, my sunroof is open, and I'm just driving. And so like I was just like, this is some shit that would just happen in a book. Like, what are the odds of a bee flying in my door at the same time I'm opening my car door to like throw my work bag in? Like, what are the
Mhm.
odds? And then I'm on the phone with my husband. I was like, a bee flew in my car. I'm driving with a bee. and so it was just so theatrical that
Yeah.
it belonged in a book. And so the bee flew in the Range Rover and Jay trips way more than I do because I wasn't about to crash. First of all, I don't want another car note, so I'm not crashing none. My car is paid off,
Mhm.
and we gonna ride that car until the wheels fall off, okay? Because I love not writing a check to nobody bank. But
Mhm.
but anyway, so Jade does not have the same story. She literally just bought a Range Rover literally like 2 months before. B5's in her car and she crashes into Tate. And he has, I think what did he have? Was it a Mustang? I think him and his brother had like matching Mustangs or something like that.
Some Dodge or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they had matching cars that was like antiques. They
We
fixed
just
up
know
and
it's a
they,
muscle car.
yes. And so she is randomly driving down City Line Avenue, which people now call City Ave, but if you true Philadelphian, you're gonna always call it City Line Avenue.
That's
But
in the book, y'all. That's in the book.
yeah. So she's driving down City Line Ave and the bee flying her car and she crashes into a back of a vehicle. Who's in the vehicle in front of her? Lo and behold, it's Tate.
Mhm.
And so that's how they reconnect. And it was just so cute. And but then they
It was
then
cute.
they go their separate way, and then it's not what you think. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, she hit him and then they see each other and then just all the memories and the good feelings come up. Like they handle their situation. She get her car told, blah blah blah. And they kind of just like, go their separate ways.
Mhm.
And then do you wanna the next
Girl,
part was I don't know
that
what I
whole
was.
thing was crazy. It's
I
so
might have
I
been
love
smoking
it.
that night. I don't know what I was smoking. I might have been. I might have had a joint that night. That I.
Saturday. I liked it though because, like you said, she crashed into him. He goes, "You gotta be freaking kidding me!" Because look
Mhm.
who it is. But he was still a gentleman. He wasn't
Mhm.
rude. He waited. All right, see you later. She goes to her aunts and whatever because they was going to go to date.
Mhm.
Then he goes to his parents, talk about it. Oh, you just trying to? It's so funny. I love when how the mom like, oh, the same day.
Mhm. Mhm.
Make him talk about it. I'm gonna get. And then the crazy part about it, which I love, is that he had food, but he ended up still going to the cheesesteak place.
Mhm. Because his mom had made pasta that night. I think.
Yep, and he said it's gonna take 20 hours because she make her sauce from scratch.
Mhm.
And he goes still get him a cheesesteak. And none of behold, when he met Jade the second time when they finally talked, we're at the same restaurant at the
Mhm.
cheesesteak.
Mhm.
And he said, oh, funny to see you here then. And then what happens? The place gets robbed. I said, oh my God, they about to kill somebody.
Yo, that was hilarious. Like that was so funny and so much fun to write because it just was like so out of left field, but still possible in that area. So it was
Yeah,
so out of left field for the book. However, where the book took place, it was just 100% possible that this could happen any day, any
sure.
moment. Like that cheesesteak spot has been robbed so many times.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know what I mean? And so it was just so fitting for the background location.
I liked it. I liked it because when that happened, what I'm saying, she gave him a taser, he tased the guy. I love how he just got up and just left, like, yo, we out. Cops coming. Like, he was just so smooth with the
He
I'm
was
like,
he was so smooth. He was such a smooth guy, wasn't he? He was
he
so smooth
was.
through
He
and
was
through
so
all the
smooth. He
way
didn't
through.
like, she said, oh, God, he about to do something crazy. But, they got out of there. And the crazy part is, let me take you home. And it was just like,
Mm-hmm.
instant back reconnection. Like, oh, we about to do this? Are we doing this? Doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, yeah,
Like
because
like
obviously,
one time might have been chance. The second time, and we getting robbed, and we cling to each other. That's fate right there.
girl, because they said it. And the funny part about it, like right before you, the parents were saying, either y'all gonna get together or the universe is gonna bring y'all together. And
Mm-hmm.
it happened, and they both were like, yo, life is too short. I still care for you. and he still cared for her, obviously. And it was just like, and then afterwards, we together, right? That had me die.
Like,
Y'all butt naked doing the do, and then you're gonna be like, wait, we together?
like ain't no miss signals, ain't no reading between the lines. Like this, you mine now, right? But for real, like this
You know what
it.
I'm saying? Like it
Yeah.
was so funny. I thought that was hilarious how they stopped in the middle of them doing stuff, but we together, right? I was like, yo, that is hilarious. But I thought it was just so cute how they got back together and they worked on their stuff, and then she tells her like, yeah, I'm opening up door dream number two. I absolutely loved how this book ended.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh my
absolutely
God,
loved
I
how it
love
ended,
it.
and it also showed that she really did care about him.
I
So
loved how when they were getting dressed in her closet, like it was a very intimate moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was just sexy and intimate, and then they kind of coordinated, and it was just it gives you all the feels of what you want from a love, from like getting dressed and somebody smacking you in your butt or helping you zip your something,
yeah,
snap your something, or you know what I mean? Somebody staring at you in a sexy manner while you getting dressed and then just admiring your body and just who you are as a person. Like I felt like that was a very intimate moment that I just really loved.
I loved it, and it felt real because even though she was bossing me, like, you ain't bossing me. Like I do that all the time with my husband, all the
Mm-hmm.
time. He'd be like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
who you doing? And like the back and forth, I'm like, it just felt so real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, it feels
Like, why you
authentic.
asking me what I'm
Like,
wearing when you already pull out my clothes? Like, what we doing? Like,
mhm. It felt so authentic and so
very
intimate. And,
authentic.
yeah, and so I love that. And then when they get there and he has no idea, like I love that
I
she
love
gave
it.
him back his restaurant.
And I love like when they were there and he goes to the stage. Oh, you better not be pull. I tell you, forgive her, but don't give her no ring. I'm like, oh my god, come on, Jackson. Like, come on, like you
Mhm.
gotta be crazy. But I was like, shoot, why can't she get the ring? They know they're gonna be together. But I like how everything played because everybody like, oh, they got normally I don't care. Every book I read, I want them married with a baby at the end. Every single book that's I want
Not
to
married with a baby. So I didn't want her to have a baby because she was just such a boss that like that wasn't her priority. So
or
I
his. But I
yeah,
love it when they finally got together because she's now finding
yeah,
herself. I
yeah.
feel like okay, but I get why
So
you didn't
maybe
do
as
it.
a side story in Jackson's story, they found out that, now they got everything they want and they want to have a family and Jackson going to see his niece or nephew and blah blah blah. But I feel like I'm also in this stage of life where like I am so pro not making women mothers to have a happy ending or
Yeah,
to have a happy life. I feel like society stress a lot that womanhood is based upon on if you're married, on if you have children, and if you're not, then you are ugly or you a hoe or you aren't wife material. And like meanwhile, we just not me because I'm married, but women just over here living their happy best single life, going to wine festivals and food festivals and
hmm
traveling the world. And so I like to depict that a woman's happiness is not defined by being a mother and a wife and you know what I mean and a homemaker. And so I thought that was Jade's story. Jade wasn't those
I
things.
get it. I like how you did it. I said she playing with us. That's what I was saying when I was reading the
Mhm.
book. I said the
Yeah.
author's playing with us because now he's pulling out necklaces and like listen here, where's the freaking ring? The vacation
Yeah.
packet. I'm like, she playing games,
I'm
in
playing
your
games.
heart.
Listen, because like you know how like I saw somebody post in the group. It was like bitches always be surprised when they end up pregnant at the end of the book. Like he wasn't just busting in her like on the second date.
I was saying that too, but then she said she's on birth control. I said, oh, okay. But I'm telling you, I'm not gonna sit here and lie on the slide. Every book I read, I want them to have the baby and give me every last one of them. Every single last one of them.
I
Because the
have
reason
plenty. I have plenty that that
I
that
know, and
fit
that's how I
that.
wanted to end. I don't care what book I don't care what trauma I'll have. I don't care if it's a sequel. I want a sequel because I feel me personally because I feel like that changed my life dramatically. Having a
Uh-huh.
child, having getting married, but then I want to see a book number two because I tell people why does it always stop there? You know what I'm saying? I like And I told what often did this before. She kept on going with like the marriage. I said we don't ever go past that. I want to have a baby, and then I want to see what trials and tribulation they go through their marriage and still find love or
I
find
mean,
meet
but
the find themselves.
that's when you get cute holiday shorts. So,
And that's why I love the holiday shorts in between the books because but I've been wanting to be serious because I'm like I'm invested. I'm like I love that we find love, but I'm like we always stop there. I'm like why can't it just be more? That's me being greedy, but I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, no, I do it
Like
too. I'm like, I want to know what their life was like. I want to know what their senior citizenhood was like, what they grandkids like. I do it too. I do it as a reader.
I love it. I'm like, no, I'm
But then as a
invested.
writer, then listen, so like I do it as a reader, but then as a writer, I'm like, you gonna take this shit, you gonna get what you get. The end. The motherfucking end. So
I
but
tell everybody, I love series. Like people give me I always say, give me your book catalog, and the first thing I do is read a series
so
because I am
question then,
invested.
did you remember the character Hanif who he partnered with for Doe Dreams too?
Yeah,
Did you
because he the
read
one who
Hanif's
had
story?
the drugs and the stuff. Like he did specialty orders. I remember him.
Oh, okay, so you did read Just Wanna Be Loved. Okay, okay.
Yeah. And I
Okay,
was just
okay.
continuing because I was on a part of the other book.
Okay.
I love reading the series.
Okay, 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 okay.
That's why I was like, ooh, like, and I said,
Yeah.
okay, what about to
And
happen now? They connected them. She's gonna have
yep.
something else.
I love connecting the stories and then you get a glimpse into the life of the old characters
Mhm.
from the previous stories. And also almost all my beta readers and a lot of reviews, everybody loved Hanif. They love
Yeah.
Hanif. Like they was like he is book bay. So I got so many texts and DMs like, oh my god, you bought my baby back. You bought my Neefy poo back.
I enjoyed him. I enjoyed this book. I just love all of it because even when after they left and she had a surprise for him, I'm like, ooh, is she gonna tell him she having a baby? Like I was like,
You so silly.
I
You just
was.
saw
I
your
was still. I'm like. I still might get my ending. But when she took him back to his original location and said, "I
Mhm,
never sold this, and I wanted it to be the grand opening," and she matched the designs, that's when I fell in love with Jade. And I'm not,
mhm,
I
mhm,
that's when I loved her. I said
mhm,
because, and I was hoping the whole time because they never said what happened with the business. I was hoping the whole time. I said, please, I hope she don't sell this business because I
mhm.
knew she cared about her, and I wanted to get back together, and that also showed him that I
She never
wasn't
stopped
doing it.
thinking about him.
Yeah, she never started thinking about him. She didn't do anything in malicious intent. It just her story lines up like, yo, I found out afterwards after I fell for you, but I didn't know how to tell you and all
Mhm,
that. And I was just like, that's why I said I loved, even though it wasn't what I wanted, I loved how you ended this. And I
yeah.
was like, well, we found book two because I'm like, we need to know what's going on with the brother. That's how I'm thinking in my
Yes.
head.
Yeah. So Jackson will definitely get a story. Um, I don't know when.
Well, you let me know when it is.
I will let you know when, and we will come back for part two. But
Yeah.
hopefully, probably, maybe in the beginning of next year.
That's fine because I'm still reading your catalog, so that's fine. I've been
Okay.
enjoying it,
Okay.
but
Well, it's a
I love
whole
it.
bunch of stories that end with babies and all that other good stuff. And
I just love it. But I tell everybody, I said I love babies, but I always be like, I hope they have a book too. I hope they have a
mhm.
book too with it because it's just it's different because you get different.
Yeah.
As a mom, it's different challenges that
Oh,
happen.
absolutely. Because if you read Blake and Serena, part two to Blake and Serena was her dealing with postpartum depression. So yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So I love that, and then because people, and I'm like you said, everybody would say you want to have baby, but no one goes deeper than that. Okay, now we have a baby. Are you willing to deal with this postpartum? Are you willing to deal with this insecurities? Are you willing to do? Hey, you
Mm-hmm.
need to help out too because the mental load is something really real. Like
Mm-hmm.
showing that, and then so like okay, they still happy. Like they had these problems that
Mm-hmm.
happen in real life, but they figured it out, and now they still blossom and still grow as a family. I said we always get to like in anything. I feel like in real life we come to this point and then we don't go past it. I'm like we need to go past it because a lot of people are like oh I met this guy, and then you have one problem like oh my god my parents never argue why.
Yep. So if you like real life for the listeners and viewers, if you like real life that kind of go in a series, but also the series can be standalone-ish, I would start with Stay a Little Longer, Stay Forever, Just Wanna Be Loved Too, then When You Love Me, Playing with Fire, then Doe Dreams. So these
Let me
aren't
look.
all like they're connected, But like, for instance, When You Love Me and Playing with Fire is a separate series. They just have cameos from the other 4 books. And so it's good to read in that order because you'll get to see your characters that you fall in love with earlier on in my catalog come back for cameos. So yeah.
Let me see how I read this. I read Stay a Little Longer, Stay Forever, Just Want to Be Loved, Just Want to Be Loved Too, and Those Dreams.
So you're missing When You Love Me and Playing with Fire. Those 2 come in between those dreams. So Hanif, Blake, and Serena are in When You Love Me, and then
Let me download it right now.
yeah, and then the main character of When You Love Me, her brother is in Playing with Fire. Is main character in Playing with Fire.
So I have to I'm putting it right now. When you, all right, put this right in here. Y'all see me? Y'all know I'll be playing. I do this all the time. Like, what I need to read about right here.
And When You Love Me, I'm telling you now, you probably gonna be in my inbox like, girl, come here, we need to talk, because it is
I
a
probably
very.
will be. You know me. I'll be like, excuse me.
And I'll be right here because I love having these conversations. I love talking about my books. I also love being reminded why I love
Y'all
doing
see that, right? Look, y'all see, I got it right now.
it.
And it's Zane.
Yep, Zane and Orion. So his name is Orion. Well,
You
it's
see
spelled
it?
Orion, but it's really pronounced Orion because his mom was like super ratchet.
Y'all see it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
So
I'll be reading a book too. And I'll let y'all know because I told y'all already know it's about the summertime. So y'all know I'll start doing all my TikToks and I'll come back with the authors in September because I'm busy in summer. So I
mhm.
do all my book reviews. Whatever I read in the summer, I'll do a review about it. Instead
Okay.
of having an author because I like to like one time we're all in the house. People are
Mhm.
busy, so I'm like, oh, if they're here, what about nobody because they're on vacation? But I do all the reviews, so you gotta look out for the reviews because I'm like,
Yes,
girl, let me tell you.
yes, and it's just prepare yourself. It's sad and happy and funny, and I cried a lot when I wrote the book. So I just be prepared, okay?
I'm gonna be prepared. I probably read it like in a week or so because I'm finishing up this other series.
Okay.
But girl, I love those dreams. I love how it ended. I love that
Thank
she goes back to
you.
the restaurant. I love that you came on here to discuss this with us. You have been a pleasant, but please, I know we got 7 books she's working on this year because you told us that. And then our other book with Jackson will be the 8th book for the new year. But what else do you have going? Are you going to any book events?
Yes, I will be at Indie Love in a few weeks in Atlanta. I
Mhm.
will be at the Alexandria House Party in July.
I'll be there, boo.
Hey, girl. Okay.
Okay,
Make
I'll
sure
be
you
there.
come
So,
see me. Yes,
and
I'm
I'll
gonna
be
be there.
coming get you. Are you doing a pre-sale?
Yep, I have a pre-sale on right now.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm looking for everybody pre-sale. I don't. I usually always buy books there, but I'm like, should I do the
Yeah,
pre-sale?
yeah. My pre-sale is all my pre-sale info is on my Instagram. But I think it's House Party Experience 25 is my coupon. Like you just it's on my if you go to my website, I have like words going across the screen like don't forget your coupon code, and then each one has its own tab. So if you go
I
to
got a coupon code. Let me see
shaydaypens.com,
the coupon code.
you'll be able to hit pre-orders and then click Alexandria House pre-order.
You know, it'll be hard because what I be doing, and y'all already know this because I'm like horrible. I'm not horrible. I buy a book from everybody. I like to support all my authors. So
Yeah,
I walk around with a suitcase. They think it's so funny, but I'm like, I'm not carrying books. I'm not messing
yeah.
up my freaking back. But I be like, do they do the pre-sale or not?
And I
Because
will tell you this, you should do my pre-order because you get $5 off your order. So when you put in the coupon code, it will remove $10, which is $5 for shipping, and then an additional $5 for a pre-order. So you'll get $5 off your order if you pre-order to any of my book
are
events.
you shipping it to us? Or are we getting it
No, no,
there?
no, you getting it. So when you
Oh,
put in the coupon code removes the shipping
oh,
and
okay,
then
okay.
takes off an additional $5. So it'll say $10 off, but you getting $5 off your order because it removes the shipping code. And then when you enter in the code, it lets me know what pre-sale I'm packing the books for.
I gotta find this on your thing. You look at me, y'all.
Yeah. So if you hit the link, my link tree in my email,
Mm-hmm.
I mean in the top, you see,
Yep,
and it
I
should
see
say,
how they are pre-order 2025. I just clicked on that. I
yep.
didn't want my freaking book.
Yep. And then
I'm
make
trying
sure
to be
you
sure.
put in the code. Cause I had some people like forget to put on the code and then they DM me
Use
like I
code
didn't put my
House Party 25 when you check out.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
what books? What book should I get?
Um I feel like if you do you have no dreams, you should add it to your shelf if you like it. But When You Love Me and
I
Playing with
have no
Fire,
dreams, but I
when
be
you
like, When you, I'm about to read that one. Something else.
Do you got the marriage contract?
Did I say it in my list?
Huh?
Did I say it in the list of me talking?
No, you didn't.
Then I don't have it then.
You should definitely. If you haven't read the marriage contract, girl, that is like my number one reader favorite.
Well,
Like,
is that a series?
no, it's not a series.
I'm gonna get it right now. The marriage contract.
It's a novella about waking up in Vegas married to a millionaire baseball player.
Okay, I'm out of it.
Oh, and then I don't know if you also know I write under Eva Cherie.
Is that your name for Alexander House?
So Eva Cherie, I wrote Held in Contempt, Wild Thoughts, Reckless Nights, and Handled.
Girl,
So I have
you better go in my DM because we need to have we're gonna have a real conversation because yes, send me both of those catalogs though.
Yes, yeah, my catalog, it should be I think my post. I think my catalog is posted on my page too.
Let me use what I'm supposed to use. House Party 2025.
Yeah, House Party 2025 at checkout. Or is it just 25? Is it House Party?
I just say it's 25.
Yeah,
House Party 25. Let me apply my House Party 25.
Yeah. But you see how I got it scrolling over every page of my, like, don't forget y'all coupon code.
You do. I'm doing it right now. And I got to do this for all of them, but I want you to write something really good, like to my favorite reader, Whitney. For Whitney.
I will. Listen, I will. Oh, and then I'll also be at Southern Hearts and Signed Kisses in October.
Where's that going to be?
That's in Columbia, South Carolina.
Is that with Kimberly Brown?
Yep, Aisha Bree and Kimberly Brown. Yep.
See, the only reason I want to go to that one so bad, the only reason why last time I was going to go to that one, I didn't get to go because my son plays football. My daughter do cheer. So I can't book my tickets in advance. So by the time I got their schedule, it was already sold out.
It's already sold out already. They opened up 25 more tickets today, and they sold out in less than an hour.
But I was like, I was telling Kevin, I'm like, I can't do that. Even the same thing happened to Monica Waters. I told her next one she do, I'm just gonna book it. But it's just hard when I have two kids who's in like my daughter's and my son's like now he's about to go to high school. So I'm like, I can't be missing the games. Like that's so I don't know my schedule yet.
Yeah. I was at the 4B. Yeah, and so I got 3 more this year. I did 4 this year, and then I'm already also booked for next year for the Chocolate City Lit Fest in DC, which I love because I don't have to do anything but load up my car and drive down the road.
Give me the information because my best friend lives in DC, and I'll come to that.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
I'll put my address on here, but you're not sending it to me. But
no, you just fill it out like you're doing a regular order, but it'll just come to me, and as soon as I see your coupon code, I know it's for a pre-order.
All right, I'm doing that right here. And girl, but I am telling you right now, I want all the information in my DMs. Guys, y'all could see she has great personality. Her book is very great. She's 2 different authors, and she's about to drop 7 books this year. So she's going to keep us busy. So make sure you guys need to catch up. If you're not going to any of these book events, y'all need to go because I try to go to at least once a year because I have the travel business. I travel because for my business, and I work, and my mom, and I be reading and doing this content for y'all. I'm busy and I'm tired. But I support our Black independent authors, and you guys know that's why we do this.
And we support you right back and love you for it.
Thank you. But I gotta tell people, I'm like, you gotta go to these events. They're fun. You get to meet the authors in person, and you get to see me because I go at least once a year. So guys, please support her. If you're not, follow her. You guys already know where to follow me on social media. Everything at Whitney's Escapes, all your travel needs, and just if you're an author and you want to be on here too, you can hit me up. I'm very open. But Shay Davis, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Coming on here, talk with me tonight. Make sure you send me all that information in your DMs. And I am literally about to finish this purchase right now.
All right. Until next time.
Yes, boo. We have a new book. I'm like, listen, book number 2. Let's discuss.
I'll be right here. I'm gonna be right here.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Until
next time, sweetheart.
Bye.
Do you work too much, constantly on the go, miss hanging out with friends, family, or even yourself? Do you ever feel like you need an escape? Whitney's Escapes is here to help with just that. We specialize in family travel, autism travel, group trips, vacations, staycations, and more. So when you're ready for your next escape, make sure you contact us at whitneysescapes.com. Follow us on social media at Whitney's Escapes as well. Whitney's Escapes, where your dreams become your reality.